Okay, so we've got the pole beans done, and if you take a look at the handy dandy plan we'd written up, once we got the pole beans done, we're moving into tomatoes and peppers. Now, I won't be able to plant a tomato plant every foot or every 30 centimeters, it'll get too crowded, so I'm going to plant them every second drip, every 60 centimeters or 2 feet, and then I'll intersperse things like maybe lettuce between the tomatoes and peppers, and then we'll do beets and radishes along this line just as planned. When you go to put in tomatoes, if you're going to do some starts, I've got some starts here. I actually saved last season 13 different varieties of tomato seeds from all the different varieties I loved to enjoy. So that's a nice healthy start ready to go. You're gonna have to put a cage around that start. So this is a cage. It's generally got 3 legs. You gotta make sure you're not gonna puncture your drip lines. It'll shove right through cardboard or a coffee sack if you have to. And if you get it down, you can see the bottom of the leg here. Get it down, you know, maybe 20-25 centimeters, presuming your soil is soft enough to get it down. The tomato will grow up inside and it kind of has the cage to support itself, especially if it starts getting heavy with fruit, which is a beautiful thing. When I dig a hole to put a tomato in, I always have eggshells. So these are eggshells actually from hatching our baby chicks this year. And putting a bit of crushed up eggshells in the bottom of a tomato hole provides some calcium and it prevents some root rot problems that tomatoes are prone to have, especially if things get wet. So eggshells crushed in at the bottom. So I'm gonna do every second drip, I'll do a total of 4 tomato plants, and then I'll do 2 pepper plants. And remember, back to our plan here, we are hoping to have some cucumbers, and cucumbers I'm probably going to put at the end of both of these drip lines, and then we'll have to create a way for them to kind of prop themselves up and grow so they don't twine through all the tomatoes and peppers and pole beans, because they can be gnarly vigorous, and we'll have to create a little plan for them because cucumbers are a wonderful thing, but they're crazy in the garden. They're super fun. So let's finish planting off this bed. Here we go. So would you look at this little cutie? This is a tomato plant. And it's growing up out of the soil that I brought in for this garden, and I didn't intentionally plant it there. Whenever a plant shows up in the garden that you weren't intending, it's called a volunteer. It showed up. So thanks for volunteering, little tomato, and I just want to let you know that generally speaking, with the exception of squash, pumpkin, cucumber type plants that cross-pollinate and make weird frankenfoods, if you get a volunteer in the garden, it's probably going to be really vigorous, really robust, and really hardy. So I'm going to clip around this coffee sack that it's growing through, and I'm going to transplant that tomato and keep them rocking. Thank you for volunteering. Okay, so we're planting tomatoes in the bed. Here we are. So the first tomato's in here. This is just marking where the next drip spot is where we're not putting a tomato, and the shovel is now where the next plant is. So remember, we're going to put beets in here, so the tomatoes are going to be going right beside them. So I'm digging a hole, and remember we did the lasagna type layering. With the sacks that have been on here until a moment ago, ever since we filled these beds, the soil is nice and moist.
Grab a handful of eggshells and put them in the bottom of the hole. And don't be shy about digging deep when you plant these tomatoes. They do really well when you dig them down deep. You can actually bury some of the lower branches and lower leaves, and that'll just become roots underground. So don't be shy, dig them in deep, and pack the soil around the tomato really tightly so it's firmly held. You certainly don't want a strong wind on your first day to take this plant that's come out of a greenhouse, very delicate, fragile environment, and have it break off. So bury it deep, cover some of the branches and leaves if you need to, and pack it in nice and firm on top of those eggshells. Now when you cage it, it should be ready to go and take off.
So I put in 2 pepper plants at the end of the row that started out with tomatoes. And remember, these are every 2 feet or every 2 drips. And then what I'm doing is just taking and I'm going to intersperse some lettuce starts in between these peppers, if I can get them out of here. Now these are quite root bound, but if you start to break them apart, what you discover is there's more than 1 lettuce plant inside here. And what we'll do is we'll break them up into little clusters. And then from that, we should be able to kind of intersperse them at the alternate drip lines. The lettuce isn't going to get nearly as big as peppers and tomatoes, and it'll be long done its life cycle before those guys are ready to harvest. And as I'm going along, I'm just going to add water to everything that's been planted, and then the drip lines will be used on a regular basis. And that'll finish up that side of the drip line, and then we'll get ready to do radishes and beets further on down the row. So I've got some radish seeds for the end of the bed. You can see what the radish seeds look like. They're pretty small. Radishes germinate really quickly. They're a good cool, loving type veg, so they should spread up pretty fast. We're going to do probably the last third of this row with them. And then I've got some beet seeds here that I saved from last year, just to give you a sense of what they look like. They've got really cool kind of meteor looking shape, all sorts of edges, warp and woof to them. So that's beet seeds. We're going to just make a little trench right here with a hand shovel, and then put the seeds in there, sprinkle some soil over it and water it. And then I'm going to show you a little trick that might surprise you that's going to be a great way to get them germinating. Here we go.
Okay, so I just said to you that I was going to share with you a little trick on what's going to speed up or increase the chance of better germination for all your seeds. So I plant the whole row at once, the beets first, and then the radishes are going to come along further down the end. And as I go along, I obviously cover the soil and moisten it with the watering can. But the key here is that we tend to plant all of our seeds when the sun's out and it's nice and warm, and that usually dries out the seeds. And as soon as they dry out, the seeds have a very low chance of germinating well. And you don't want to keep hydrating them and letting them dry out and hydrating them and letting them dry out. It's better to just get them wet and staying nice and moist and warm. They don't need sunlight, they need warmth. So my suggestion, the trick, is cover them up with something like a coffee sack, newspaper, cardboard, anything that won't blow away and will prevent the sun from directly hitting the soil above the seed and drying them out prematurely. Then every couple days you can water under that seed or sack or cardboard there, and it'll stay permanently moist. It'll germinate much higher rate. And then once it's all sprouting up underneath that cover, pull the cover off of cardboard or coffee sack. They'll be a bit yellow, but as they start to photosynthesize and get direct sun, they'll turn green and do really well. Way higher chance of germination if you cover your seeds. Now, this garden bed's already very full with beans planted and peppers and lettuce and tomatoes, but we're going to try one more, and that's a long English cucumber at this end of the bed. It's only about a ½ meter by meter space, but it's enough room to thrive and do well here. I've dug a nice deep hole. I've got it positioned right below a dripper in the drip line so that water's going to go right to the roots. And then as I pack it in, I'm just going to cover it up with lime to make sure the soil's not too acidic. And also some bone meal, which helps the roots take off on a newly planted transplant. With that, cover it up with whatever you have to protect the soil and protect the roots and take away the competition. A coffee sack, some mulch, or some cardboard. And with that, this cucumber plant's ready to go with a good drink. Just want to make sure as well, guys, that the topic of fertilizer is going to come up in future chapters where we try to fertilize all these baby plants and get them rocking.